All right, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, you guys. Hello, happy rising. The sun is here, hallelujah. So there has been, first off, if you chose this video, you are literally just on a journey. So I want to congratulate you for taking the road less traveled by. So I do want to say, what I see going on now and what Spirit wants me to express into the world is this. Oh wow, everything that I was inspired to say just got blank slated from my mind. So Spirit's gonna take this a new direction. Okay, cool. So feeling it in the gut and the intuition. Some of us may be feeling like quite uneasy because our bodies are literally changing on a DNA level, on a genetic level, and quantumly. I don't know if you've been feeling this, but I know that a lot of us have, or at least I have, is literally being on multiple dimensions at once, just like our physical body, and so many activations within all of our chakras all at once, and specifically the crown chakra, so the actual hub of intuition, the actual hub of discernment. And what has been going on is this real need. Okay, so I'm going to express this in a way that I want you to understand that I am not religious. I do not adhere to a sort of belief system, but I have studied many, if not all of them, throughout many past lives, okay, on this planet, and then from different planets and dimensions and things like that. So it is what it is. But what is important to understand is when we are working in the material world itself, what occurs within the spiritual, what occurs within the soul, what occurs within the energy, what occurs within the unseen, what occurs within is what dictates what occurs outside of ourselves, okay? So let's say we're facing something really difficult right now, or very okay, because I feel like there's that paradox that happens, right, where you receive something extremely difficult and then you learn, and then you also are receiving something extremely beautiful at the same time. And what's really important to remember, and this is just truth, is discernment. There comes a time in our lives when we have been talking the talk, but then we are asked to finally walk the walk. Now, we might have been walking the walk for a while, but it gets really real. It gets like no games, okay? We can play, we can have fun. It's important to do that, you know, and be joyful and allow ourselves that. But there comes a point when you reach the refiner's fire. There comes a point when you see the burning bush in front of you, when all your demons are running at you, and you're just like, you're like, I believe, I know I can do it. And you just keep going, and as you go, the floor beneath you turns into lava, and you have to just keep stepping, and you have to keep having faith that your whole entire body won't burn up, but then it does. And all of a sudden, the demons behind you can't pass through the fire. But guess what? This is the test. Will you pass through the fire? Will you be refined, or will you burn? Will you burn to nothing? Will you let this massive, beautiful initiatory test that will lead to the greatest alignment, greatest clarity, greatest destiny, literally miracles that you have only imagined but couldn't really truly imagine, because the amount of miracles that are available to us on a constant basis is profound, it is unfathomable, and it just continues, okay? It literally continues. There are layers to this. And so are you going to Allow yourself to be refined by the fire. And this is the test. The test, are you listening? Are you listening to the real true voice of God? I literally do not care if a huge, like, world-renowned guru is telling you one thing, but if your being, if your truth, if your God source says another thing, and that is what you know is true, and that is what you know you need to focus on, and that is what you know you need to let go of, and that is what you know you need to step into, you must go with that. And that is that last test is, will you cut out everything else, literally everything else, and give your entire life away to the greatest and highest unfolding for all, which includes yourself? Will you let go of the reins for a bit and allow the entire chariot, the entire vessel of which you explore life itself, will you allow it to be transformed through the great fire, through the great flame? Will you allow your heart to be literally just obliterated with flame? Will you allow your mind to be obliterated with flame? Will you allow your root to be obliterated with flame? Your whole body just completely grown, and all of these past cycles, all of these past things just no longer matter. They no longer matter. And we can get on so many different levels of spiritual teachings whenever it comes to this, okay? We can get on so many different levels of spiritual teachings when it comes to this. But okay, no matter where you're at, no matter how you're relating to this, because this is how you're relating to it. You're like, yeah, I've been doing this and this and this, and this is so resonating with me. Okay, yeah, no matter where you're at, this is the truth, is that the refiner's fire is a literal initiation into pure and utter protection and pure and utter destiny. Because you have already given your life. You might have said this 2 weeks ago, a year ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and you have been building up, lifetimes ago, you've been building up to finally receive this moment, this judgment day. You have asked to be the tool for the greatest and highest good of all. You have asked to receive a destined life that is full of abundance in ways you could not possibly imagine. You have understood that it is all encompassing, that you can have your cake and eat it too, and you can share with the whole world. You can share with the whole universes. You can share with entirety. You are entirety, and you understand that, and you know that. And so now this is the test. It may be showing up as really terrifying experiences with like super dark energies. Walking through the valley of death, my friends, walking through the valley of death. Will you fear evil? No. This is when you fear no evil. Why? The only reason why you would fear evil is if you truly don't have a testimony of love. If you truly believe that the brother, the great sister, Christ and Magdalene, the great mother, the great father of ourselves, of who we are, if you truly believe that in those things, this is the test. Will it be fear? Are you going to serve the God of fear? Or are you going to serve the God of love? In everything that you do, everything. Everything. Even in every breath you take, every blink you make, every thought you have. It takes practice, but for you, you've gotten to this point, okay? So this is the great test, and it may be manifesting in all these particular certain ways. But the test is this: if you meet judgment in front of God first, if you look within yourself first, that will suffice. But you must be real. You must get real with yourself. There is no bypassing this because you have asked for it. and you have opened yourself up to receive this innumerable grace. It is literally life-changing grace. It is literally death to be reborn. It is literally the refiner's fire molding you. And so this last test is, will you remain true? You must get real with yourself. You must stop blaming everything outside of yourself. You must stop running from the things that you know you need to switch up, from the things you know you need to change, from the things you know. Okay? And during this whole process, just like in the process of the last millennia, grace still applies. There is endless grace. But you must know, when you get to Judgment Day, you're going to want to get right with God first before the material realm picks up on it and it's in their hands. Do you understand what I mean? This is bigger. This is bigger than see, the test is this. Are you gonna trust in man? Are you gonna trust in your own body? Are you gonna trust in man? In the power of man? Are you going to trust in the power, the ability of man? Are you going to trust in that? Because if you choose that at this point, and you bypass meeting and getting right with God first, get ready. So I highly suggest at this point, you got to get right with yourself first. You got to go within your own individual self. At this point, it does not matter what anybody else says. At this point, it matters what is within you, and you got to get real. You got to face the darkness within you. You got to face the shadows within you. You got to learn to love and let it go. You got to learn it. You got to say, like, oh my God, like, I see. You'll come to this point where you're on your knees. I know you've been on your knees a ton of times, right? But this is different, and you know it's different because it's dire straits, man. It's not like messing around at this point. And I can tell you, at the other side of you getting real and true and deciding that you will become correct from then on, in every aspect in your life, to the best of your ability, continually willing to grow and learn. Whatever is worrying you in your material world will disappear. It may take some time, it may take some rearranging, it may take some other, but you got to get right within yourself first. You got to get right within yourself first. You got to get right within yourself first, and you got to give it to the greatest and highest good of all. Peace and love.